Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's and Gold's Gym.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Dan Shore. Socorro Halstead is on assignment. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. The Lieutenant Governor Mendiola is on the mend following an auto accident last night. Also tonight, the Senate votes this morning to limit subpoena powers. And Mariana's Chorisos are selling out. Meet the makers. And in sports, a look back at the highest scoring softball game in Saipan history. Stay with us. These stories and more are next.
When a crispier McCrispy strip is created, only the best sauce will do. Behold, chicken Caesar greatness. Caesar sauce at McDonald's for limited time.
Every journey begins with one step and the right coach. At Gold's Gym Saipan, our certified personal trainers build programs that move with you. Your goals, your pace, your power. Stronger, healthier, more confident, together. Your best starts right here at Gold's Gym Saipan. Visit us in Garapan or call 670-233-4000. Gold's Gym Saipan, stronger with every rep.
Hafaday, Tirawami, and good evening, Commonwealth. You're watching the Channel 2 News on August the 14th from our studios high up on Capitol Hill. Lieutenant Governor Dennis Mendiola is in stable condition after crashing his car into a telephone pole. According to DPS Acting Public Information Officer Simon Manikop, last evening around 7 p.m., Lieutenant Governor Dennis Mendiola was driving on Tunkyoshi Road in Aslito when, he says, he reached for an item on the passenger side of his vehicle, causing the vehicle to veer onto the road shoulder, leading to a loss of control of the steering wheel, resulting in a close encounter with a telephone pole on the passenger side of his car. Mr. Mendiola was transported to CHCC for medical examination. This morning, according to his office, Mr. Mendiola is home and recuperating with only minor shoulder discomfort. It has been quite the year for our Lieutenant Governor. It was a very busy schedule in the Senate this morning, including a gubernatorial override and the passage of a Senate bill limiting investigative subpoenas. This morning, amid a very busy calendar session, the Senate voted to override a gubernatorial veto of a Senate bill that, among other things, appropriates abandoned casino deposits to pay outstanding fees owed to the Tinian Casino Commission. Other bills up for consideration, ones concerning CUC rate adjustments and CETA financial appropriations, were tabled to clarify bills' language and objectives. But one bill that did come to the floor was Senate Bill 24-53 to prohibit the Office of the Attorney General from issuing criminal investigative subpoenas. Robbie Glass, on leave from the Attorney General's office, appears to give public comments as a citizen of the Commonwealth.
And that's the bill that is to prohibit the Attorney General's office from issuing investigatory subpoenas. Now, investigatory subpoenas are a law enforcement tool. Again, it's a law enforcement tool that every single state and territory utilizes.
Mr. Glass has recently declared his candidacy for the soon vacant Attorney General's position.
Part of prosecutions is doing investigations, right? Solid investigations lead to solid cases, which lead to convictions that people can be sure about, right? There's no question about it when you bring solid evidence before a court and a jury about who you've charged and why you've charged them. And so places throughout the United States and other territories use investigatory subpoenas all the time to initiate cases, to gather evidence, and to build strong cases so that they can fight corruption, they can fight white-collar crime, but even things like theft, murder. I mean, you're talking about not just corruption cases, but you're talking about things like CCTV cameras from an independent owned business when you need to gather that. Bank records, when you need to get that. When there's stuff dealing with a theft, maybe a person's home security system, right? You can use an investigatory subpoena to get that type of information.
What is the Senate proposing?
So right now they're proposing to basically undo the regs that the Attorney General has passed and prohibit the Attorney General from being able to conduct and issue investigatory subpoenas unless there's a specific law that provides for it. And so what I've proposed to them is let's create that law. Rather than prohibiting and taking away investigatory powers from the Attorney General, let's work together collaboratively to not only protect people, because that's the concern, right? We don't want the Attorney General overstepping. We don't want them just charging everyone and then having to try to figure stuff out. We want solid stuff before things are brought into court. I think it sends the wrong message. I think it sends a message of supporting of corruption by taking away tools. Right? Instead, we should be establishing tools to get to the heart of what's going on. And by establishing those tools and working with the AG to craft it, and again, ensure protections for the citizens of the Commonwealth. We're not trying to trample on their rights. We want to ensure that their rights are very much protected. But when crimes are committed, there's a constitutional duty to go investigate those crimes and to prosecute them. And to do that, we need solid, strong investigations, which is where this starts. And I don't think that's the message the Senate was intending to send. The message the Senate was intending to send was, we need to protect people. And that's why I've offered, let's work together then. Let's craft a bill that will get the protections that the Senate desires and wants to have, along with making sure that the Attorney General can do his job correctly.
The Senate votes to pass the bill limiting investigative powers unanimously. The bill will be sent to the House. At the CUC board meeting yesterday, a financial nightmare for a customer and also for CUC. At the CUC board meeting yesterday morning, one customer, Linda Alvarez, expresses extreme distress at the inability to find a solution to a billing dispute.
So CUC has been putting me through an unnecessary duress for over 6 years now. I'm coming to the board to ask you guys to look into my account and give me my fair usage. I cannot be running up that. I've compared after Sen Laku from a commercial, former business associates of mine, that they're 24 hours, a lot of computer, got to leave the aircon on because of their computer. 500, while I was billed 1,600. It's wrong.
While the board meeting is no place to express billing grievances, frustrations grow as a board member, Miranda Manglonia, expresses her own concern for unrestored power customers on Rhoda. While acknowledging that only 17% of Rhoda has had their power restored post-Typhoon Bobby, limited repair crews have been denied the opportunity to work overtime.
Try to see what Rhoda manager can do to help his community. I've been getting calls. I've been talking to you guys. I've been asking updates. I haven't received any from Alvin. How can we work together? I'm sorry, I am getting frustrated because of what Alvin is doing with the Rhoda office. I do not want a model office in Rhoda because he doesn't want to utilize his crews to go out. They could have connected more houses once that engine was energized. But now the crews have to stay from 7:30 to 4:30 and wait until the next day.
Kevin Watson, Executive Director, CUC.
But once Betty brought to my attention that we were in the red, we had to notify Alvin and say no more overtime, even for Rhoda. We did it across the board to Saipan, Tinian, and Rhoda. We didn't make any exceptions for any island. Everybody is in the same predicament. We don't have funding. And Alvin is following the direction of management that I gave him to control that. So if there's an emergency and he needs to finish restoring one, yes, he can go beyond that, but then he has to flex it, and that makes it inefficient. It was brought up about if we can extend hours, and I explained to him that it wasn't, we weren't able to due to the funding, and until such time that we may be able to get the legislature to pass the loan, because we're in the red right now.
The House of Representatives has yet to act on a bill amendment proposed by the Senate that would allow CUC to incur a government-sanctioned loan for typhoon restoration. CUC Board Chairman Alan Perez.
Yes, everybody's asking, what can we do operationally to address the recovery effort? But we said it in April, when you're looking at $60 million or $75 million for Insulaku, you could go through our finances. You're not going to be able to cut enough in there to be able to meet that need. So, and I think that's what's happening right now. Everybody is trying to find a way for us to cut operations in order to meet the recovery needs. It's not going to happen. We've already incurred these expenses. We need to pay these bills, right? And at the same time, we're asking to have our people work overtime and add to that. And you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, right? These are not in the tens of thousands. We're talking about a lot of money. So like all of the board members here know that we have been working on this this lending bill since April. We're 4 months into it. Before Sinlaku, actually, when the fuel rates were starting to go up. We had our initial meetings with potential lenders at the beginning of April. We're now mid-August, and we haven't gotten resolution here on that situation. So I'm glad that you did mention that to them, but I think for us, whether it's the board members, management, or whatever, I think we need to impress upon them a little bit more. I mean, a lot of times you hear it on the front end, and then on the back end, they come back and say, yeah, but we need help to restore this power. But everything literally is in their control right now.
Some good news is offered. Chief Financial Officer Betty Terlaje announces that a FEMA reimbursement from Super Typhoon Yutu of 2018 was just received.
In the amount of $8,497,915.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor to authorize management to go ahead and use the $8 million plus funds that was received as U2 reimbursement for payment of recovery expenses for Sinlaku and Bobby. Motion has been made, it has been seconded.
And passed. It took 8 years for Typhoon U2 reimbursement. In this era of austerity, the Office of the Governor has signed 2 executive orders merging governmental agencies. CNMI Governor David Apatang has signed 2 separate executive orders with the intent to streamline governmental agencies. Executive Order 2026-14 transfers the Arts Council to the Mariana's Visitors Authority. According to the order, the Commonwealth Council for the Arts and Cultures is hereby transferred from the Department of Community and Cultural Affairs to the MVA, under the supervision of Acting Managing Director Judy Torres. This executive order has been submitted to the legislature on August the 10th and, subject to legislative approval, will be effective in 60 days. Executive Order 2026-015 was signed by Governor Apatang on August the 13th. It authorized the transfer of the NMI Museum to the Historic Preservation Office. This order stipulates the Secretary of the Department of Community and Cultural Affairs, Francisco Reboliman, may terminate any current contracts associated with the museum. This order has been submitted to the legislature for approval, and they have 60 days to accept or reject. Coming up, they say there is a brain drain in the CNMI. Well, not today. Welcome to Saipan. And Mariana's Chorisos. They say nobody wants to know how the sausage is made. We find out anyway. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it.
When a crispier McCrispy strip is created, only the best sauce will do. Behold chicken Caesary greatness. Caesar sauce at McDonald's for limited time.
Hey, golfers, come north and practice your game at the Mariana's Driving Range. New Year's local specials. 10-piece coupon books available for just $60. That's a $10 savings. Want to get really good? Come work on your swing every day for just $99 per month. It's our practice pass and you're going to love it. Grab your passes and go straight to the range. You can social distance and chip all at the same time, and the views are free. Reserve now at marianastrekking.com. You can pay online, open 7 days a week.
Looking for resources about Mariana's history, culture, and more? Well, check out the Northern Marianas Humanities Council's collection. Our extensive video, audio, and photographic library can be found on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at 670 Humanities. Or check out the written resources on our website at nmhcouncil.org. And for those who prefer a good book, we also have a selection of local publications for purchase. So, dive in, explore, and share your comments as we navigate the human experience together. Welcome back. You are watching the Friday night edition of the Channel 2 News. The term brain drain has been used often in the recent Marianas downturn. It's nice to know that the best and the brightest will be returning. Welcome to Saipan. At Saipan International, we won't have to complain about brain drain today because this brain named Lelaine, yes, Lelaine, has just gotten off the plane.
I'm coming from Hartford, Connecticut. I'm dropping my son off because I go to law school, and it's my last year of law school, so my parents are raising him here while I finish out the school year, and then I graduate, and then hopefully I come back and work for the CNMI. It's my 4th year. I do a part-time program, so I work full-time for the state of Connecticut. I used to work for the government here in Saipan, and then I just kept working full-time, and then I go to law school at night. It's not for the faint of heart. Law school is hard, and then you add doing a full-time job on top of that, plus having a family. Like, my parents have my son right now, but I have another son who stays with me in the States, so it's a lot of work. Every time I come home, it's just like, it's that jolt of energy I need. The sun. I'm not made for New England cold weather. I've decided I can't live in the snow. Home is a great place. I know we're going through some tough times right now, but that's why there's people like me that want to go out and educate themselves so they can come back and help make the islands better.
And while Lelaine is arriving home for a stay, this brain is temporarily leaving on a jet plane.
My name is Mariana Rosario Jacopo Alupuyo. So I am now, I want to say 3 years. I've been going there for 3 years now.
Nice. So what are you studying?
I'm studying food science.
Food science? Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. All right. And what made you want to go into food science?
So originally, my passion for foods, but I didn't want to go into culinary school. So I decided to look at fields that dealt with food, but then more on the science-based. Yeah, that's how I landed on food science. So far, while I was out there, I got the opportunity to go to Arizona State University to attend the Model USDA. And it's basically like a simulation where we're simulating policymakers regarding food. So yeah, that was really interesting. So I do plan on coming back here when I am done with school, but after getting my bachelor's, I already made a decision of wanting to go the step further of getting my master's degree. So after doing that, I am going to come back home.
as she prepares to take her smile on the plane so she can continue to train.
The one thing I'll miss the most is definitely the community, the environment, the food as well, and also, most importantly, my family. It's always a pleasure coming back home, being with the people, and being here again. Can't wait to come back home.
If you are bringing your son to grandma while you're studying law, or you are making sure that the Kelligwin is safe for everyone to eat, welcome back, welcome home, welcome to Saipan, and adios. The 80th annual Liberation Day festivities are set, and like fluffy white clouds on a clear day, will be floating through Susupe in 1 week's time. Mayor R.B. Camacho and Chairwoman Frances Santos of the CNMI Liberation Day Committee announced the official dates for the Bobby-delayed festivity ceremonies. Originally scheduled for July 3rd and 4th, the 80th Liberation Day commemorates the opening of Camps Susupe and Chalancanoa in 1946, which liberated Chamorro and Carolinian families from internment. On Friday, the 21st, that's next week, the festival grounds with food and retail vendors, cultural performances, entertainment, amusement, rides, and games will open at 12 noon and stay open until 10 p.m. at night. Opening ceremonies will take place Friday at 4 p.m. On Saturday, the 22nd of August, the Liberation Day Parade will float down Beach Road from Quartermaster Road to Civic Center beginning at 10 a.m. Festival grounds will be open for food, games, and entertainment from 8 a.m. until 11 p.m. The committee wants you to know that they are reaching out to survivors or relatives of survivors of the camps to be honored guests of the festivities. If you are or know anyone who was there, please contact the mayor's office at 670-234-6208. See you next week. Chorisos is the Chamorro word for sausages, and through word of mouth, Mariana's Chorisos on their first day in business sold out in just an hour and a half. Mariana's Chorisos, LLC, founded by Steven Sablon, Bill Torres, Ed Hofschneider, Ines Huckog, and Dave Guerrero.
But we're all brothers just, coming together with a passion to have good food, and sausages is something that we kind of all banded together to make something good for the community and also represent the Marianas out in the public and beyond, Sausage really has a way of encapsulating a variety of things, right? So we can do like a Thai sausage, we can do, Italian sausage, we can do Oktoberfest. So it's limitless on how you want to express a certain recipe, a certain culture. We really started off with trying to represent the Marianas and how our taste buds like different things. So, so I think we landed on sausage really just because it was something that we could express our passion in. Yeah.
Mariana's Chorisos received developmental assistance through the CNMI Small Business Development Center.
Yeah, so SBDC was, we got the incubator award, and so they helped us out with a lot of the equipment that we have here that we're using. Prior to them, we had, purchased our own stuff, but they definitely helped us to increase our volume, our output, because the equipment that they have or that we got from the incubator is commercial grade.
You want sausage? Saturday morning you can find the Five Amigos selling chorisos at the location of the former Grotto restaurant in Garapan.
Slow and steady is the game here. We don't want to just flame out. We want to make sure that we, we grow organically.
Don't be too slow and steady. Last week, they sold out before 11 a.m.
Come check us out. We have a drop on this Saturday, from 9 till supplies last. And thank you for supporting us local, support local, and Mariana's Chorisos looks forward to having you be a fan.
Viva MCC! Viva KSPN!
Coming up in sports, the highest scoring softball game in KSPN2 history.
I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. Bring your friends in for the best night out at Godfather's Bar in Garrett. Sing along to your favorite hits with live music from the Gigolos. Godfather's has daily food and drink specials, like Taco Tuesdays. The best pizza on island every day of the week. Located on Palm Street in Garrabin.
From Les Maisons of Golds, a scent born of effort, forged in sweat, and finished with just a hint of pre-workout. Introducing de Gain by Gold's Gym Saipan. This Christmas, give them something unforgettable. Gold's Gym gift certificates, because confidence never goes out of style. Gold's Gym Saipan. It's not perfume, but it will make you smell like victory.
Buena sports fans.
Buenas, sports fans! It was the good, the bad, and the ugly one 10 years ago. The most runs were scored in KSPN recorded history. Our Bob Coldeen brushes off the cobwebs to report and scores a journalistic home run in the process.
The wind came up from Palau. It was blowing out last Sunday. Note that fact. See, that's my thumb, the same one Darwin Masaharu broke in my last season playing softball. Darwin almost breaks his bat, hitting that home run. After Peleliu scored 10 runs in the top of the first, D&Q Kairu busted out with 16 in the bottom of the first. The teams must be using magic bats. Top of the second, Dominic almost kills Lucian George. Check his ear. Is it still there? That'll loosen up your brain. Charlie Kenty, a 2-run shot. Walter Macaranis joins the homer party. Mabel says, make sure you invite me. James Dog Fleming, oh no, that's just a common single. Charlie, another ding dong. Peleliu added 11 more. Bottom of the second, Taylor with a Jimmy Jack. Max Scallion, a blast. George David takes a tumble. And the score was tied 21-21 after 2 innings. This was the good, the bad, and the ugly. Top of the third, George the grounder between Mac's legs. Paul Ogamuro's grounder between Peyton's legs. Brell hits, well, that doesn't go between anyone's legs, it goes over the fence. George, a ding dong. Peleliu scored 33 runs in 3 innings. Kairu doesn't roll over to play dead. Lefty goes over his favorite fence. Yep, left. David Capileo doubles off the fence, and the score was 33-29 after 3 innings. Top of the 4th, Burrell. Home run. Peleliu scored only 6. Bottom of the 4th, Lefty again. Taylor. Again. George. Again. Are you kidding me? Kyrou hit 5 homers in the 4th inning, and they still trailed by 2. Hey, how about a little defense? Mark Flores with a snag. Peleliu led 42-37 after 5 innings. Top of the 6th, Peleliu. What? They only scored 3? That's terrible. Really weak. Well, the wind was blowing out so hard it blew Bell's hat off. Bottom of the 6th, bases loaded. Oda, a double. All 3 runs come in. A 15-run rally that was aided by David Capileo's 3-run blast. And Mac's solo shot.
One more!
And Stevie Gassar solo shot. That gave him 52 runs for the game. Peleliu only scored, 2 in the 7th. D&Q Kyrou wins the biggest slugfest in KSPN sports history. 52-47. Oh my goodness.
Thanks, Bob. Here's the weather. Tonight is forecast to be a home run of a night. Partly cloudy with only a 30% chance of isolated showers with mild westerly breezes and temperature lows of around 78 degrees. The weekend should be very much the same, CNMI, with a 30% chance of part-time raindrops, mild winds, and high temperatures of 87 degrees in the day and cooling to around 78 degrees at night. The sun will set at 6:41 p.m. and will rise again tomorrow morning at 6:02 a.m., just in time for softball players to dream about homering 97 times in one glorious magic game, just to wake up and hope to slap a lucky single to right. And I will see you again in the water or dreaming upon the land. Well, that's our program this evening, CNMI, and we will see you again after the weekend on Monday.